Technical difficulties. Bear with me. There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, folks, before I forget, we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers, and please forgive my freaking hair. Alright, humidity freaking does crazy things to it. Alright, folks, as you know, NeuroClastic, a non-for-profit created by autistics, for autistics, and for disability rights and all the issues that come with it. They are being sued as of right now. Well, they're being threatened to be sued by the JRC for defamation. We have the link to the article they are threatening to sue them over in the description box, so send it far and wide, folks. The JRC is trying to silence us. Let's send a message, shall we? We also have, because we are crowdfunding, since they are a small organization, in order to help them with legal representation costs. So if you got $1 to spare, please go ahead and do that for them, okay? All right, and we have the usuals as well. Autistic massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org shut the Judge Rotenberg Center down petition. Folks, when we discuss the JRC here, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? It is 4:41. It's been a hell of a day. So if I stumble over any of my words, folks, apologies in advance, all right? I'm going to try to keep this close because my brain hurts. The June report states that one school district informed NYSED that JRC did not inform or seek approval. Oh, we went over that garbage yesterday. Sorry. Number 10. The school district and parents are informed that the use of adversive interventions may be a condition of the student's acceptance and continued enrollment in the program. They're telling this to desperate parents, folks, people who every other door has been slammed on them. And they have presented themselves as the last hope, but in order to get their help, you have to sign up to basically get your child abused. Disgusting, isn't it? And then they try to tell you it's just like a bee sting. It works. Look at all results. They show the propaganda. It's bullshit and it's bad for you. So let's continue this here. This is not the JRC's policy. Really, because I see court documents that show different. You know, when the judge sided with them instead of you. We do not require approval of aversive by a parent prior to admission unless it's clear that the student will require them at the very start of his or her enrollment. So basically, you just said the New York report was right after telling us it was a lie. How the fuck, are you, people like you in AH, in this whole dichotomy will say, I never said that, but I said that. The fuck? They said that you did that, exactly how you worded it. You just said they're wrong, and then told us that they were white and why. For fuck's sake, you're not doing yourself any favors here, JRC. Goddamn. And this accrues in less than 25% of the new admissions to the JRC. It shouldn't be happening at all, JRC. But the fact that it says it's only required 25% of the time makes me wonder what the fuck are you doing to these other students? Oh yeah, that's right. You rip away parents' rights. You give it to quote-unquote objective court-ordered guardian and appointed guardian, and you have the courts in your back fucking pocket. But, go off, I guess. JRC successfully treats approximately half of its students without ever using adversives without ever asking their parents to approve of the adversives. Okay, so if you have individuals that you don't have on your fucking torture device, why are you putting any on it at all? But Tiffany, it's the severity. Fuck all the way off on that. So it is obvious to me that you are maintaining an us versus them mentality. You are creating this environment where only certain people are the ones who are getting tortured. Really? Not the flex you think it is, JRC. Really isn't. And you delightfully leave out how the fact that you actually have the court rip the decisions out of the arms of the parents. Yeah, they do. They will put them under state appointed guardian who then gets to make the decisions. Remember that whole concept of consent we talked about on NeuroClastic's channel? That's what we're talking about here. But let's see them try to be more shady. Oh yeah, and not forget, successful. If you call traumatizing a child into compliance to the point that they act like a robot, but as soon as you remove that threat and there is no fear, they revert back to old quote unquote so called bad habits, explain to me again, why are you using it? That is not a success. Not by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, go on, I guess. If a student is authorized for use of adversives, and if the parent withdraws his or her consent permission, JRC simply stops using the adversives. But that's not been case in point for you all. You use those items without the parent's permission all the goddamn time. You really think they're going to approve for you shocking their child with a device that sends that's literally just below the lethal limit? Nah, no parent's going to agree to that. At least I would fucking hope not. At least I would fucking hope not. And if you were going to stop the adversives when the parents asked you to, remember this is 2006, why the fuck did you not stop when Cheryl McCollins told you to stop? She told you before that incident she didn't want her boy shocked. She wanted the arms and the torso part removed. You did not listen. And we have video footage to back that shit up. So, really, JRC? Really? Really? If the student can be maintained safely at JRC after that point, he or she is allowed to remain. God help me. If we cannot care for the student safely, JRC calls for a new IEP meeting so that a more appropriate placement can be found for the child. You mean if the parents refuse to buy your garbage, you're going to send them out into the world? Slick. Is my hatred for these people clear? Okay. We'll cover this part and we'll go rest for the evening here. If the June report describes JRC alternate learning centers as a setting used to control students who present with current behavioral difficulties, which require physical intervention at a high rate, and for whom substituted judgments have not yet been attained. I remember that. A large number of JRC students come to JRC directly from psychiatric hospitals. Bullshit! It comes from the school districts. Miss me with your bullshit. It comes from school districts in poor communities. We have evidence and data to back it up. Do you, JRC? Detention centers or prisons. So we're criminal, folks. We're insane. We're criminal. You can see what they're implying here. This is what we need. They have to control us animals, you fucking bastards. Every day when I go through these, I think I can't hate them more, and then they just go and prove me wrong. Nonetheless, all new students are capable of severely injuring themselves or others. Victim blaming, great. Nonetheless, all new students are assigned to regular classrooms when they first enroll in themselves or others. Yeah, they said you moved them aside to a side room, you dumb fucks. God. Ugh. On blah blah blah. And they're placed in a more restrictive setting only if they pose a safety risk to themselves or others. Garbage. The need for a student to be placed in restrictive classroom settings, such as the small conference room or an alternate learning center, is reviewed daily by members of the student's treatment team. Yeah, I'm going to trust your fucking treatment team. Sure, Dan. The treatment team for any student with a high frequency of dangerous behaviors. For fuck's sake, high frequency? What are we, a fucking radio station? What the fuck does that even mean? Is constantly working to make modifications at the student's program to reduce the unsafe behaviors and return the student to less restrictive setting. Teachers are assigned to each student in a restricted setting and meet the student daily to go over academics. The student is always presented with his or her academic tasks pursuant to IEP goals. How the fuck, JRC, is stacking popsicle sticks over and over and over and over again meeting an IEP's academic goals? Truth is, folks, it's not. And all I'm seeing is lies, gaslighting, more bullshit, and more propaganda. And on that note, folks, we're going to go close out for this evening. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time, so please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this evening, and as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.